my channel, to the Adventures of Nick and Willikins. We'll be playing it again. We need to find the murder weapon and we need to find the proof of sanity. So let's get into this and we'll load the game and start from here. So let's have a look in the bathroom. I think we'll go and look in the bathroom first. See if there's anything in here because I don't remember. Oh, what's this?
These were prescribed by Master Nick's personal psychiatrist, Dr. Gesund. The label details the type of medication, recommended dosage, and a contact number for the good doctor.
Okay, so let's have a look. We've got the letter. No, don't we? So we need to put that. I think goes with that.
Well, this should fit Master Nick's rather arbitrary requirements for a device to help him make decisions. I'd prefer it if the thing said yes, but we can't have everything, I suppose. Or if you're me, anything.
So let's go and ring the psychiatrist's number and then we'll give the 8-ball to Nick, see if it works. I remember thinking of a pencil as well. Surely that could do something as well. I'm certain it could. Sure there was a pencil. Sure I picked up a pencil.
I'll just draw myself a straight path to the center of the maze.
Yes, I knew it would work.
And that's center and not center, obviously.
So what we'll do is we'll ring the number.
This is the head shrinking doctor. How may I assist you?
I beg your pardon, I was trying to reach a Dr. Gesund.
Yeah, speaking. Dr. Gesund at your service.
In England?
Terribly sorry about that. I've been brushing up on my German accent, you know. Seems I'm taken much more seriously when people believe I'm German for some reason. How may I help you?
Good morning, Willikins the butler here. I should like to request sanity paperwork for Nick of Nick Hall, if I may. Please and thank you.
Nick of Nick Hall, is it? Well, I can't give that information to the likes of you, of course.
Ah yes, medical ethics.
What? No, because you're a lowly servant. However, as it happens, I issued just such a certificate to the patient's only surviving relative.
Right, thank you.
Okay, so we've got that. So we'll go to the maze first. See if this works because we need to see if it works. Because we can get down, or we can give Nick the ball. Okay, Nick.
Here, sir.
What the hell is this thing?
It's a, magic 8-ball, sir.
What is it, electrical or something? Do I need to switch it on? Oh, I see. It's already on. That's clever.
Indeed.
Now then, Magic 8 Ball, guide me with your 80 wisdom. Tell me if I should let Willikins do that thing what he's whinging on about.
Saving your life, sir?
Right, that one. And the answer is... Well, this may come as a bit of a
Bet the
surprise to you,
gnomes under
Willikins,
the
but
bed.
the answer is no.
Really?
Which means you lose. You don't get the thing you want. What thing was that again?
I most emphatically did not want to look under your bed, sir.
Oh then, the 8 Ball has spoken. I order you to look under my bed this instant.
Very good, sir. Somehow I always knew this disturbing little fellow might one day be involved in something untoward, and now I'm nearly certain of it. If there's any possible chance this is the murder weapon, I should not touch it with my bare hands.
Oh, so we got some gloves for that anyway, haven't we?
Willikins, what are you doing out there?
I was just picking up this object under your bed.
Yes, of course. Only, could you not do that?
Sir?
That is to say, could you go and wait in the dressing room for a moment first? As a good chap.
Sir, I must say, this isn't making you appear to be less guilty.
Just go in there and wait until I give the all clear. Then I promise you can have whatever rubbish you find under there.
Very good, sir.
Oh, he's not going to block the toilet. Oh, he's going to block the toilet. Oh no. He's blocked. And where's it going to go downstairs?
Well, I can't be absolutely certain, but I believe the plumbing has backed up again. There's only one place the excess water can go in this house when that happens.
Yes, we're right downstairs.
Okay, it's safe.
This is most definitely not what was here a moment ago. I doubt it's the murder weapon. Well, I don't think this is the actual murder weapon, but I might as well take it. It would appear that something rather large and unwieldy, I expect I can guess what, has been flushed down the loo.
Okay, so we want to go down and see what's happening in the basement. And then we'll see what we can do. Let's give a look. Should be.
Much as I'd like to crawl into my subterranean hole and hide from all this, it would appear to be flooded.
Okay, let's look. We've got
I managed to retrieve the line before that rodent gnawed completely through it. That little blight is going to be trouble.
Okay, so haven't we got some?
I suspect if that rat is clever enough not to drown when his home's been flooded, he won't just eat a packet of clearly marked poison.
Okay, so what can we put? Chips, that'll do.
This may be the first time in all my years of working here that I've used poison as a verb, and not in the way I'd always imagined it either. That dead rat won't even be in the top 10 smelliest things I've had to deal with down there, sadly.
We can try the rope again now, see if we can get the murder weapon.
The diameter of the gnome's pointy cap would seem to match the diameter of the wound on our foyer corpse. I believe I may indeed have obtained the murder weapon. After a considerable fashion.
Yeah, we got the murder weapon. Nice one. Now we need to go back to the woman in the maze. Or upstairs, is it? I think we need to go upstairs. Yeah, again to Nick.
What's this then?
Just some amendments to your ever-expanding hedge maze project, sir.
I don't remember signing off on these.
No, sir, you're signing off on them now.
Am I? Oh, it would appear that I am. Well spotted, Willikins.
Indeed, sir.
Okay, so we can get to the woman now outside because he signed the papers.
Poppies are rather lovely, aren't they? And roses, I don't think roses hold any particular symbolic meaning whatsoever.
Hello. Won't you join me, please? I've some urgent business to discuss. Good morning. I have some revisions from His Lordship. And I do hope you don't see this as a rejection of the fine work you've done here thus far.
Well, this seems a bit more direct than his lordship's other suggestions, but this is clearly his signature, so off I go then.
Let's see then. She's really knows what she's doing.
Oh my. Good heavens, the girl's a natural.
There we are, precisely to his lordship's specifications.
She didn't even say ta. Oh. There we go. So we'll go back to the woman because we were right. Let's see in the woman his Aunt Petunia. Yes. We'll have to have a look at that. Wait, Aunt Petunia. So she's along with that. Need the proof of sanity. Turn the TV off first, and then we'll get to talk to her.
Miss Petunia, terribly sorry to interrupt.
I never mind being interrupted by the likes of you, you strapping young thing.
Yes, rather. I was wondering if you might know anything about a certification issued by Master Nick's psychiatrist.
Terribly sorry, wondering if I might. Cool, try a little decisiveness once in a while, boy. It'd make you much more attractive to the ladies.
First of all, Mum, I'm not interested in women.
Married to the job, eh?
That was going to be second, yes.
I'm afraid I can't help you then. Now, bugger off. There's a good lad.
Oh, I need...
Just hurry up and get through this, Willikins. It's for the greater good. Just lie back and think of England. Good morning, beautiful.
Oh, beautiful, is it?
That and so much more. I scarcely have the words to fully quantify your loveliness, my dear.
Well, perhaps you'd have learned them if you hadn't gone to bloody Cambridge.
Indeed. So, my lovely, would it be too out of line to request a very small favour from the most stunningly gorgeous creature I've ever laid eyes on?
Oh, well, I suppose not. But you'll have to do something for me.
Name it and it's yours. Anything for you.
Oh, give us a little turn round.
I beg your pardon?
Just give us a good look at the whole package, if you gets my meaning. Nice and slow.
Very well.
Ooh, delightful. That one's going to the old WB, I can assure you.
WB, Mum?
The second word is bank.
Oh,
First word rhymes with it.
Petunia.
Now let's see. I hid that paper some time ago for young Nick's own protection, and I wrote down where I hid it on this paper. Here you are, dear.
This appears to be in some sort of code.
Yes, that's right. I used a decoder ring I got from an American cartoon show I rather fancy. Unfortunately, I lost that ring, so you'll have to get another.
Does she
But
know
that
he's
shouldn't
already
be
got
too
one?
difficult for the likes of you.
I wouldn't have expected you to be a fan of American cartoon programs, miss.
What you don't know about me could fill a bloody town, boy. Now, bugger off. I'm done with you now, and I've important business to attend to here.
Okay, so we'll have to put the decoder ring with the letter.
The note says that Master Nick's sanity certificate is in the library portion of his drawing room, inside the book, The Lion, the Witch, and the Very Big Fish.
So we was looking for it before. The Lion, the Witch, and the Very Big Fish. There we go.
Ah, finally, official documentation of Master Nick's sanity.
Yay!
That's all four of Clever Roos's rather condescending puzzle pieces found. I suppose I should phone him now and be condescended to
We've done it
further.
all. So we'll have to go and phone him now to see what happens next. Surely it was Nick that just done it. Surely it's got to be Nick. I'm sure it was Nick, definitely. So we'll ring the detective. See what he has to say for himself. Surely we can get some answers now.
You've reached Clever Ruse?
Yes, hello, this is Willikins the butler, from Nick Hall.
Yes? You must be very proud.
We spoke earlier at length. You came here and told me what evidence I'd need to present in order to solve the murder that took place earlier today.
Oh, yes, of course. You've located that evidence, then.
More or less, yes.
And said evidence exonerates your lord and master?
As far as you know, yes.
Excellent. I shall be there momentarily. Meet me at the scene of the crime.
Very good. Obviously, some of this evidence paints Master Nick in a, shall we say, less than innocent light. but I think I can accidentally omit those details when presenting it to Mr. Roos.
Okay, we'll go in there now. See what the Mr. Rouge says.
Excellent work, chap. Top notch. Couldn't have done it better myself.
You didn't.
Yes, but now comes the most important bit. Assembling this data into an official Clever Ruse information packet for easy consumption, processing, and adaptation into various forms of highly lucrative media.
So you're going to take the hard work I've done, scrawl your name at the top, and take credit for the whole thing.
It's a bit more complicated than that.
Is it? Explain it to me then.
No time for that. I've an important call to make. I shall be in this adjoining room here, not to be disturbed.
Who does he think he is, ordering me about like that?
That's my job.
Off I go. What was that code we'd agreed upon for when someone we don't want hanging about is hanging about? Well, I can't remember it either. That's why I asked you. Don't forget it. The point is, someone is in the room now, and I can't say anything. Yes, I have all the evidence that clears Lord Nick's name. No, I didn't need to lift a finger. I convinced the idiot butler to do it for me.
Oh,
He's quite the idiot.
naughty.
And also extremely ugly.
Well, that's just hurtful.
And get this, he actually believed I was affiliated with law enforcement. Didn't ask to see a single credential.
So
Ugly
he's
idiot.
to do with Nick?
Of course I'm going to bug it down the loo. What better way to destroy the evidence, assuring his inevitable execution, and then I shall have unfettered access to those bearer bonds. No, I don't know what they are, but I know they're valuable. Something to do with the war, I think. Anyway, that's my sinister plan. But look at me dominating the conversation. How have you been? I see. Yes. Oh, and how is Uncle Alfie? Still dead, then?
Good heavens, I must call emergency services immediately.
Oh no, this is terrible. I wonder who's what's gonna happen then?
Emergency services, how may I direct your call?
Good morning. Oh, Beryl's got some time off, has she? Good for her.
Oh, well spotted, sir. I can see from our display that you're calling from a rather posh mansion, so you may not comprehend this. But working folk are entitled to a day off once in a while. We are, despite the way you lot treat us, human.
Yes, of course. As the personal servant to a rather difficult master,
Are you taking the piss, sir?
Beg your pardon?
We ain't servants. We've no use for that archaic class-based nonsense here. Now, what was it that you wanted?
I must speak with Detective Inspector Bobby at once.
A servant speak to an inspector? Not on my watch, sir. D.I. Bobby is much too busy to waste her time on the likes of you.
Really, this is rather urgent.
Well, if it's so bloody urgent, I'm sure your master will have no trouble phoning back.
Oh no!
Well, that was a real roller coaster of class politics. Suppose I'll have to convince Master Nick to phone for the inspector. Rise and shine, sir. You've an urgent phone call to make so that we may finally put this whole messy affair behind us. Sir, are you in there?
Oh no, he's gone missing.
I don't think he's in there anymore. Master Nick? Hello?
Willikins, why would you think I'd be in bed? I'm in the kitchen. Buy yourself down here at once.
Okay, he's in the kitchen. Let's see. Gonna make this urgent phone call, Nick. Please help us.
Willikins, where the hell have you been?
I was about to ask you the same question, sir. Although I may not have phrased it quite so aggressively, depending on how I was feeling at the moment.
I was lying in my bed wondering why I was feeling so bloody peckish when I realised you never actually fed me today. So, at considerable risk to my person, I came down here to see if we were somehow out of food. Not only did I discover that we were not, which therefore means you're just as lazy as I always suspected you to be, but I also found the hole in a state that I can only describe as a complete disaster.
Yes, sir. Only I have been devoting considerable time and energy to clearing you of these murder charges. And to that end, I need you to phone the police at, as you would say, once.
Ah, no you don't. I'm not lifting a bloody finger for you until you answer for this mess. Starting with this room here, the food laboratory?
The kitchen, sir.
Right, that thing. Now, I know you were down here at least twice today, and as far as I can tell, you just sort of wandered away without preparing me any food. Why did you do that? Where's my food? And most importantly, why did you do that?
As it happens, sir, that was when I overheard the murder occurring in our foyer, so I went to investigate.
Oh, you went to investigate, did you? Like you're some bloody great detective who isn't a complete pillock. Honestly, you're so thick, and not in the American sense of having a desirable bottom.
Much to my continued embarrassment, your good great-aunt Petunia would beg to differ, sir.
Nevertheless, this is an unacceptable response. Try again.
Because I'm a rubbish butler?
Go on.
Who is terrible at everything?
Correct. Now to the wine cellar for further admonishments.
Oh, good.
Now then, I very generously granted you this personal living space when you wouldn't stop grumbling about sharing a kennel with my little dog Willikins.
Extremely generous of you, yes, sir.
And now I see that you converted it to a bloody swimming hole. We're not zoned for that, Willikins. Explain yourself.
It was you. Yes, silly.
Well, sir, technically you filled my living space with water when you rather suspiciously flushed the murder weapon down the loo.
Don't you try to turn this around on me. Your job, if you could even be bloody bothered to do it, is to anticipate my actions. You should have had a plan for this eventuality, Willikins, like Batman.
Sir, Batman is granted the luxury of prep time.
Enough of your excuses. I do not accept your explanation of this mess. Try again.
Because I'm literally the most worthless, thick-headed soul to ever draw breath.
Got it in one. Or possibly two. I can't be asked to count. Right, now it's on to the front garden.
Sir, this all seems a bit needlessly complicated.
It would seem that way to you, wouldn't it?
Taking us all round again. Places we don't need to be.
And now we come to this. You do realise that is meant to be a hedge maze of doom, don't you, Willikins? Only now there's this obvious gaping hole in the thing that any idiot could easily escape from. Possibly even you.
Sir, you actually approved these changes yourself. I have your signature on this document.
Oh, I just bet you do. You've a bloody answer for everything. Next you'll be telling me that my mate Errol is dead just because his dead body is lying in the entrance hall.
Sorry, sir, but your point eludes me.
No surprise there. The point, Willikins, is that you can prove anything with evidence.
Touché, sir.
What have I told you about speaking French in my house?
Technically, sir, we're not in the house.
I've had it with your excuses, and we're not moving from this spot until you explain why my hedge maze is ruined.
I'm a rubbish butler again.
Because I'm a jerk, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir. A complete knee-biter.
There, that wasn't so hard, now was it?
Humiliating myself 3 times in a row? No, sir, that's just a typical day here at Nick Hall.
Too right. Now, what pointless thing was it that you wanted me to do?
I need you to phone the police, sir. It turns out that clever Roos fellow was attempting to scam us.
What, like in that movie where that bloke's head exploded?
No, sir, that's scanners.
What, like the Hulk's secret identity?
No, sir, that's Bruce Banner.
What, that trolley little man what's always on Hollywood squares?
No, sir, that's Bruce Valanche.
What, like my 4th favourite flavour of Dorito?
I don't believe Dorito is spelled that way, sir, but no, that's Cool Ranch.
What, like when Marge Simpson had a mental breakdown?
No, sir, that's Rancho Relaxo.
Constable Bobby returned to Nick Hall, whereupon she was regaled with an accounting of the true events that unfolded that fateful morning.
There I was, sequestered in my chambers. Willikins had ruined my brekkie twice and was almost certainly about to muck it up again. I got bored waiting for his inevitable failure, so I ventured downstairs of my own renaissance.
Sir, don't you mean recognizance?
No, there I met Errol, who, in keeping with tradition, was stealing my newspaper to have a look at the page 4 girl.
Surely you mean the page 6 girl.
No! Unfortunately, before I could forthwith and heretofore arrive upon the scene in question, Willikins had got there first.
But, sir, I was clearly in the kitchen.
Not you, my little dog, Willikins.
You have a dog called Willikins. Doesn't that get confusing?
Not to me.
him.
Apparently, Errol was not expecting the presence of a personage of the canine persuasion and, startled, stumbled backwards, impaling himself on my commemorative garden schlam. Impaling himself fatally to death until he died. And since I didn't want the authorities taking my little dog away, I hid him up here. The end.
That all makes perfect sense, sir. But there's one thing.
Ah, no you don't. The murder is solved and I'm innocent. Don't you go all Columbo on me now.
It's a fair call. Unfortunately, we shall now have to bring someone else in for questioning.
Ah, yes, the so-called detective, Clever Roos.
What?
Ooh,
Who?
Clever
Never heard. I'm a big
Roos.
dog. You, my little murdering fellow, are coming with me.
Oh no!
Will Nick's dog be executed for murder? Was the vast majority of this game actually a pointless waste of everyone's time? And what of poor Errol?
Still dead.
I'm actually not sure why I'm asking these questions, because the story is over now. Roll credits!
Okay, thank you everybody for watching my series Nick and Willikins. Join me again next time with a new video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment below if you liked the series, the game, any other games you can suggest. Don't forget to hit the notification bell because that's the only way you'll find out if I've uploaded the video. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!